Hello everyone and welcome. Crash here. This is RTA Motorsports. Let's get the camera up a little bit. There we go. And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be jumping into just some random sim racing titles, maybe some iRacing, maybe some ACC. We're not going to do too much. This is mainly going to be a setup. I haven't even tested it. I just got a cable that should be able to get our Oculus Quest working with our PC. So you're going to be seeing me kind of like stand up, going back and forth here and there as we're plugging everything in. I just finished downloading the software, which actually was a bigger file than I thought it would be. It was like 5.5 gigs. So that took a little while to download. I didn't want to start the stream while we were downloading the software. So let's see. Let's sign in here. And I hope everyone's well. Software sign-in. Everything looks a little different than what I remember the last time when we had the Oculus Rift S. Alright, so that actually worked. My login's still working apparently. Alright. So I just selected what headset we're going to use. And let me actually move this over so that way you could all kind of see the setup and what we're doing here. You're going to see it on the screen just for a moment as we're getting everything all set up. Let's see, display capture. There we go. So you can see it says connect your headset. So we logged in. It gave us the three choices of headsets: the Oculus Rift, the Rift S, or the Quest. So we chose the Quest, and now it's just telling me right here, connect your headset, plug the USB-C end of your cable of your Quest. No, cable into your Quest, and make sure to plug it into a USB 3 port on your computer. I do have on this motherboard a USB-C on the back of the motherboard, so hopefully that's USB 3. I know not some of the motherboards, they have USB-C ports on the back of them, and they're not USB 3. And that's an important distinction, because if that is not USB 3, you're in trouble. Or some cases have a USB-C port on the front. It's just for charging and USB 2 data transfer. You have to make sure that it has a USB 3 data speed and all the drivers are set up. Anyway, all right, let's see if I have enough run here. I think I should kind of have the short cable set up for my mod mic. Let's see. Here, I'm just going to take us along here for the ride as we're setting up the cables. Nope. We'll make this work. So you can see the cable that we have here. I think this is a 15-foot long cable. Super long cable, kind of thick. It's not their official cable, but it's one that a lot of people were saying that was working. It was advertised to work for this specific reason off of Amazon. So if it works, I'll put it in the comments. If it doesn't work, well, I mean, in the description. I'll put it in the description later. All right. Ah! There we go. So we're not going to have the motion rig going. because of our monitor arrangement that we're still working with, our triple screens here. Kind of using the extension cable off of that. All right. So it's still telling me to connect the headset. The headset isn't on. I think I charged it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, we got the green. I'm so relieved. There was a few people complaining that it didn't work for them. And I think it's because they were using a incompatible USB-C port either on their case or on their motherboard. So I was a little nervous. I don't know. All right. So let's continue. Okay. Software update. So it says a Quest software update is recommended for Oculus Link Beta. Install the software from the update section in your headset. All right. I don't know if I have to do that. We'll see. We'll see how this all works out. Let me throw on the headset and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm kind of curious if the microphones will work on the headset itself too. Maybe we could do like a quick comparison with that if I could get those to work as well. But yeah, let's see. We got it connected. It did pick it up. This is again not the link cable, but it's pretty much set up like it. You do have that right angle connector on this side for the USB-C. Cable is pretty thick. I think this is either 10 or 15 feet long. It's a really long cable. I could do room scale with this without any problems. And all right, yeah, let's get it on. Let's see what we need to do. All right, so I'm going to try to talk to you guys at the same time as we're setting this up. On my screen, you guys can't see that, but on the screen in the headset right now, it's telling me enable Oculus Link Beta. Access Rift apps while on your Quest is plugged into your PC. You can disable Oculus Link to go back to your Quest apps anytime from settings. Okay. So let's turn on one of the controllers. There we go. Immediately recognize it, nice and quick. And let's enable. Oh man. So I can see this is my right controller. Now I can see everything, much like the Oculus Quest and Rift S setup guide to create the Guardian. So it says, please create a new Guardian boundary for your play area. Wonder if I just click create, if it's just gonna do the seated experience. It's already picking up my left controller. I guess it already powered it on to recognize it. Normally whenever you pick up the Quest, you have to power on your controllers. If your controllers are off, it just turned it right on by itself. So that's the ground. We're gonna do stationary boundary. I apologize. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at right now. We got to get to a point where I could actually turn that on for you guys. So we're not going to do room scale. Okay. So I'm actually right now, it says, if you guys ever been in the Quest, right now my home screen looks exactly the same as I experienced in the Quest. Nothing else seems a little different at all, except on the bottom here it says enable link beta. So let me see if there's a way that I could actually get this to where you guys could see what I'm looking at. See if we could set that up. Because I know just staring at a screen here is not going to be the most enveloping experience in the world. I'm just so excited that this actually worked. Let's see. Do 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 do. I think it's actually I could have sworn that it might be actually in the settings for Oculus. I know there is a setting that I could just pull up my view. And I'm kind of wondering with the link cable if there's any like severe latency or anything like that. Let me see if I could find it. I kind of remember. If any of you guys know the exact file, let me know. Yes, I did have a butt kicker mounted to my PlayStation Challenge. I did have to use like a piece of what is it called? Like cardboard, and I wrapped it around the bar of my PlayStation Challenge, and then clamped the butt kicker to it. Now, just clamping the butt kicker to it, it felt super tight, but as soon as I hit any sort of like strong vibrations, it would turn itself and move itself around or slide down the bar. That one little piece of cardboard was enough to create enough friction and enough force where I was able to clamp down and not move. And it was awesome because the butt kicker on that really light rig, it just shook the entire rig, sometimes violently. It just felt really, really immersive. Let's see. I know there's a way to do this. But let's see. Let's see if I could just search this real quick. There we go. Compositor mirror. Program files, Oculus support. Okay. Let's do that. Program files, Oculus support. And then it's in the Oculus diagnostics and then Oculus mirror. There it is. I wonder if this will work with the Quest. Let's see. I just pulled it up. Nothing's showing. Yeah, nothing was showing on it. I don't know if it won't work for the... There might be like a bandwidth limitation. I'm not really sure. Oh, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. We've definitely done a lot more live streaming than actually videos lately. I like the interaction of the live streaming, to be honest with you, but not getting away from the videos, the actual core videos. Let's try this again. Diagnostics and then Oculus Mirror. Maybe if I run as administrator, it'll actually show. See if I can get the headset on, if it'll... Nope. Nothing yet. So, guys, at the moment, I don't know if there's a way besides me casting it to... we might have to do that next time. Let's see. File. It's going to reset settings. Nope. That didn't work. Nope, it's not working at all, unfortunately. Well, that stinks. So I'll just try to get into a sim title as fast as I can, and we'll go from there. But it's pretty neat that it is working at all. Let's see if I could... The easiest title I know of to just jump in real quick. Let's jump into some iRacing. And we'll kind of go from there, see what that looks like. In the meantime, let's see if we could access the microphone. On the headset, if that's even an option right now. Because I think the sound is coming from the headset of, yeah, the Oculus itself. Okay, cool. So let's switch this back to my headphones. ACC is much better than it was in VR. In the beginning, it was rough. Oh. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, so it shows the Oculus headset microphone in Streamlabs, but we couldn't access it. I don't think you guys were able to hear me. I was even tapping on the headset to try to get it to pick it up. Nothing was happening. So Here, let me try that one more time, and let's see if we could get the headset microphone working. And it shows it as Oculus Virtual Audio Device. All right, so that kind of confirmed it right there. Yeah, it's that's not working. So I don't know if we can get it working. And I think the sound is still coming through the headset itself, not my earphones, even though I set it to my earphones. What's up, Gopher Chucks? Norman Robinson, what's going on, buddy? Long time no talk. Let's see, it's almost done with the updates. Let's see if we just jump into... Let's turn on SteamVR, actually. Let's see if it recognizes the Oculus actually running. I do have my other headset here, too. Oh, this could cause an issue. This could be a big root of our issues. Let me shut this headset off because it does have a power button, which is nice. But yeah, that could actually cause like a big driver conflict issue if you're having multiple VR headsets plugged in at one time. Let's see. That could also be why our VR compositor wasn't being picked up. Let's try the Oculus mirror again. I don't know. I have a feeling there's a driver issue. Now that I realize that both my headsets were plugged in, that's probably why things are not really working completely right. But you know, so far so good. So far it picked it up. Let's launch SteamVR and let's see what happens. Oh man. SteamVR beta. I'm running 110.19 and it just picked up the Quest. And I got to show you guys this. It actually has a symbol for the Quest. That is so neat. Hold on. Look at this. So this is the Quest here, and these are the two controllers. Let's see if I put it within view of the Quest. So it's not actually, it's saying controller not detected, but my headset is seeing the controller inside the headset itself. I don't know what's going on there. SteamVR also brought up some settings. What the heck is this? Never seen this before. The SMPC, what you doing, buddy? This just came up. Dashboard position middle or near. Render resolution, auto, notifications. I have not seen this before. Play area, video. Is this a new thing? That is pretty neat. Okay. So, let's see what happens. Because I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. The Oculus... It says something went wrong. Oculus Link stopped working here. Here, let me unplug the headset and we'll plug it back in and see if maybe it has to do with that software adjustment. Or maybe that was when I was trying to get the screen mirror to work. It's telling me again to enable. Uh-oh. Oculus system has lost its connection to display. Please check your headset and then... Oh, that's for SteamVR. Okay. All right. This looks... I'm in SteamVR, guys. SteamVR is working now. All right. So now I know I could show you what I'm looking at. And now you can see the Oculus Quest is being shown there. I got my hands. I am so freaking pumped. I have so many headsets, but yet I'm so pumped about this one working right now. Display VR view. There we go. So, you can see my hands and thumb position works, gripper works, pointer works. I could make a fist-ish. Where's my other controller? It's my other hand here. Feels and looks really good. Oh man. So let's launch up ACC. Why waste any time, right? Let's just do ACC. Boom. And launch. So wait, now that we know that the headset is actually working, let's see if we could actually get the microphone to work. And let's see what the mic sounds like. All right, so I guess that's not working, so we won't really get rid of this microphone. All right. And for some reason, the hands keep showing up inside my head. Like when it loses tracking, it just shows it inside your head. Anyway, let's just launch. Oh, it's updating. I have a lot of updates scheduled right now. And I can't really tell. I think the sound is going back through the headset itself instead of my headphones, which I... Yep, it is. Which on SteamVR I could set. Should be a setting for it. There we go. We're almost ready. I am so excited this is working. It's nice when you buy something and it just works. So, quick notes. I know a lot of people are just jumping in now. Your USB port, if you have a USB-C port on your computer, on your motherboard, make sure it is a USB 3.0 rated USB-C port. Sometimes people on their towers, on their computer cases, their case comes with a USB-C for charging and data transfer, but make sure it is actually a USB 3.0 or 3.1 or whatever compliant USB-C port. Sometimes they're USB 2 ports and they don't tell you that. It just has the C connector, but the data transfer speeds are too slow. So using link cables or cables that are advertised to work with the Oculus Quest, like this one's not a link cable. This one I got from Amazon that was rated to work with it, and I think it's 10 or 15 feet long, so it's super long. I plugged it in the back of my motherboard in a USB-C port, and it's working. It's working so far. And I don't really notice in the menu system any delay. It feels normal. It's kind of funny because in the headset itself, I have the IPD adjustment that's a part of the Oculus Quest. And then I have the IPD adjustment of SteamVR underneath it. You know what I mean? So it's like two IPD adjustments, one in front of the other, which is kind of funny. Next up, let's see if it actually launches just fine. Oh, why are we all the way up here? We're way up in the ceiling for whatever reason. I don't know if you guys could actually see that. We're like way above everything else. Let's see if I cover the cameras. Tracking lost. Something went wrong. Nope, we're still up here for whatever reason. And now we're in a normal spot, but the menus are all the way down. So that means the UI or the HUD, the heads-up display, is going to be all weird. And so that would probably be something we would have to change, and that probably has to do with the SteamVR beta, possibly. I'm not really sure. Let's go to single player. And we'll do a practice. Oh, we're above the car. So let's reset our position and let's see if maybe that'll fix it. I don't think that will, though. Let's see. Control spacebar to center view. There we go. All right, so make sure you center your view. That should work. I know you guys can't see the menus in VR. It's kind of annoying that you guys can't see the menus. All right, so now we're inside the vehicle. We're not on top of the vehicle. Hopefully you guys are able to see all that. I'm gonna zoom this out a little bit so that way you could all kind of see what's happening here a little bit more. So the view you guys are seeing is immensely zoomed in. Let me see if I can fix that.
Green light, show them what you got.
Let's go to video. Full screen's disabled. Let's put this on 1920 by 1080. And let's put the VR preset. I don't know if you guys could see this menu. I'm changing the put this on VR high. We'll see how this feels. Well, I think it's because of the screen resolution. That's why I was zooming in. The 3840 by 1080 was just cropping it up and down. All right, so I think that would be a little bit better for you guys. It does look a little squished, but at least you guys will get the idea as to kind of what's going on here, and something to look at while I'm taking it around the track. Let's see. And then view settings, we do need our wheel. The Oculus Quest compositor. It's funny, it's like, it's, what the heck? It's tracking my hands, guys. So when I'm reaching out with my hand, no controller in my hand, to the edge of the compositor, it's coming up and showing that my hand is reaching. It's not tracking the controller, it's saying that my hand is near the edge of the screen. I mean the edge of the edge of my boundary, my chaperone. I'm like so dumbfounded by this. It's tracking my hands. So my chaperone is coming up and it's not, I was gonna say it's because my controller is near the edge of my chaperone, and it's not. It was my hands are near the edge of the chaperone. That is trippy. All right, here we go. Let me put this down and let's do a few laps and I'll let you know kind of what everything feels like. Because everything right now, I mean, there's a slight little, and I think I'm experiencing just the fact that it's 72 frames per second, you know, the headset and all that. There's a slight little jitteriness, not really bad at all. Honestly, and once we start moving, that kind of goes away.
No tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
So it almost feels like space, like it's trying to adjust for the frame rate more so than the Oculus Link limitations. Everything is looking great. Everything is working good so far. Colors look good. Wow. Oh no. So, much better experience than I was expecting so far. Everything looks really good. Of course, you have to control all that. So you guys can't see my boundary, my chaperone, but every time I reach my hand out, my chaperone lights up and shows my hand position in space, and that is just tripping me out that it's tracking that. Oh, I'm like paying more attention to that than anything. I kind of wonder if you have a chaperone set up in the Oculus Quest and a chaperone set up in SteamVR, if it's still going to cause like an overlay issue, you know what I mean? Like, you know, your chaperone for the Quest is going to come up when your SteamVR one has not come up yet, or even if that's an issue at all, that may not even be an issue at all. But this is working really, really well. Like, this feels like a normal VR headset experience. I know I'm at 72 frames per second. Doesn't feel horrible at all. I think that stuttering that I was experiencing before was like maybe some sort of like, it felt like reprojection in a way, but once the car started moving, it was noticeably smoother, and now that I'm driving, I don't notice that at all, that stuttering. It feels kind of like the Oculus Rift S in this experience. I know the FOV is lower, at least I believe it is lower, but it kind of feels, see, I can't say that it's, it's not going to be, I wanted to hit that curve just to see what would happen. That's the excuse we'll go with. To me, this headset, how should I put this? This headset, the Odyssey Plus, so someone asked for me to compare this to the experience with the Odyssey Plus, kind of has that sort of, it's not a Mura, it's a smoothening effect over the pixels, where you don't really notice the pixelation or the screen door effect that much at all. Everything looks really good, really smooth, and yeah, volume adjustment doesn't bear any sort of, because we don't have the headphones going through this headset, we have it going through my soundboard, but there's a little bit of a smoothness going on to the image in here, so it's not perfectly sharp, but honestly within sim racing it's more than acceptable. Some headsets just kind of look like this and that's it. I think it's a resolution deficiency, which, you know, no one complains about the resolution of the Oculus Quest. I think it's perfectly acceptable for any VR experience to look like this. I think it looks good. It's not going to look like the Pimax 5K Plus or the HP Reverb or anything like that. But, you know, making a direct comparison to other VR headsets out there in a seated experience like this one connected to a PC is only a compliment to the experience that I'm having right now, because I can even make this comparison at the moment. So compared to the Odyssey Plus, the visuals are very similar. Now they used a screen overlay to kind of hide the inter-pixel space, so you kind of got a little bit of that smoothness, softness to the image. I don't know how they're doing it here with the Oculus Quest. So I know this is a this is not their newer panels that, you know, are going in the you know, the Oculus Rift S or the HP Reverb, all of them. This is not those LCD panels. This is an OLED, so you do have the better black levels and everything like that, but the image does look a little softer. I'm not noticing any stuttering. That doesn't feel like it's the game itself. I mean, that hopefully what I'm saying makes sense. I'm just blown away that this is even working at this level. It feels like a normal PC VR experience to me. I don't feel like there's a lag or a delay. I don't feel like visually I'm being impaired more than any other headset. I feel like visually this is a better experience than the Odyssey, the first gen. I feel like visually this is more comfortable than the Odyssey Plus, because it's a smaller, lighter headset. You do have this cable pulling down on the left side, which is a little funky that it's on one side, you know what I mean? Should have been maybe on the top or somehow in the back. And I know some people, they find a neat way to route the cable towards the back of their head through the headband, but this headset is much more comfortable. The FOV is skinnier, and you do notice the sides a little bit, but when you're racing, you're focusing on straight ahead, much like you would be in a racing helmet. I have a racing helmet. I can tell you that in my racing helmet, it's a closed face. It's not an open face. I can see more out of the sides in my helmet than I can with this. That helmet's more closely related to like the Pimax experience, where you could just notice that there's an edge. So I wouldn't say that this is like a racing helmet. I mean, this is more like the Oculus first gen experience, as far as what it feels like FOV wise, but everything is looking really, really good. Like, I'm surprised. So I could read that, aux 2, aux lighting, screen, cool, aux, LP, lights. I mean, some things off in the distance is a little bit harder to see, but I can read everything on my dash in this car, although this car does have quite the large dash. It's only when I'm moving my head around in a stopped, I notice a little bit of stuttering, and I think it's just the title itself. Maybe a little bit too strenuous for the experience, and there's a little bit of reprojection going on. It's kind of what it feels like, but it's so slight that I don't think it's going to make anyone sick, and I don't think it's going to take you out of the experience. So let me jump into iRacing real quick, do a practice lap, and we'll kind of compare that, because I feel like iRacing always has like one of the smoothest experiences in VR. What did I do with the... No, it's ACC. Go for Chucks. Bathurst and ACC. change this. I managed to freeze it. There we go. There we go. I've earned new items for my home, it says. So now I'm in the Oculus Rift Home. So before, when I said the compositor was the same as the Quest, there must have been a link error. When I first connected it, I had to just disconnect and reconnect. Now this is Oculus Home, the normal Oculus Home. So let's jump into iRacing and let's see what that looks like real quick. And we're going to drive the Porsche 911 RSR around the Nürburgring. And I'm not going to load up SteamVR. I want to see if this just picks up the headset. Nope. 1 second. It says game security violation. My Asus ROG boards always do this. Always have to shut down the LED lighting service on the motherboards before going into iRacing. It's so annoying. I think that was it. Let's see. Let me check one more time. That should have been it. Yep. It says Oculus Rift detected. Start full screen on the Rift display. There. And I'm going to just click yes. Then boom. Yeah. If you do like other things, ACC could seem a little, you know, one trick pony type deal, but I love GT3 style racing, so it's kind of hard for me to not get into it at that point, you know. Ah, stop it. You know, I actually did want that motherboard, the Gigabyte Aorus. They have, I don't know if you're running Intel or AMD. I'm running the Ryzen 9 processor, and the X570 version of the Gigabyte Aorus had like, I think it was like 15 USB ports or something crazy like that. I wanted that motherboard, but it was sold out everywhere when I was ready to build the PC. So this was my other choice, the Asus. What is this? The tough board, or the tough series X570. A little bit less, you know, USB ports and whatnot, but the MOSFETs and everything like that were pretty good. So All right. So I had my friends running over here, and that's why you're noticing the racing line. Obviously, we don't drive with the racing line. So let's take all this stuff off. I'll leave auto engine start on, and gearbox. Let's set that. And sound. We definitely have to set the sound. That should be good. All right, let's give this a try. So far, everything is looking normal. Oh, we do need a driver. And so right now, moving my head side to side, I'm not getting that jitteriness. So I think it's just the title. Limitations with the title and, you know, everything there. Everything else looks normal. I just realized that I don't have sim experience running. That's why I'm getting that shaking there. Sim Commander. That's also why the force feedback, I didn't say anything, but it felt a little weird inside of ACC. There we go. So, no more shaking. All right, here we go. Quick lap.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel.
Oh, I have it turned way down from when we were drifting. Hold on just a moment. Creating more problems. There we go. All right, there's the wheel. So some shimmering out in the distance, nothing too serious. So a little bit of shimmering, and so there's a little bit of shimmering on the white edges of a track in the distance, and I think that's just because of the frame rate and limitations with the resolution. It's normally a resolution issue to kind of get that shimmering. But honestly, it's not distracting or really that bad at all. Again, this experience to me so far is showing itself to be better than like the first gen headsets like the Vive and the Oculus Rift. And honestly, I feel this is kind of dangerous for Oculus to do with their Rift S being out. I know they created this headset in-house themselves, so maybe that has something to do with that. A little bit of ghosting of some images there. I noticed the curbing in the distance as we were coming around the turns had a little bit of ghosting on them. I kind of wonder if that's the Oculus Link data coming through. But it was only noticeable in the distance. Everything in the foreground looks normal. Might also be the space warp, asynchronous space warp technology from Oculus, trying to maintain our frame rates.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
I feel like the experience is actually perfectly fine for a VR headset connected to the PC. I would like to try to do some standing experiences, like Beat Saber. I know is going to be an issue with copywritten. I definitely noticed it right there. We hit the wall. This curb here on the left side, as we were coming around the turn, there was a little bit of blurring. It's red and white, so you could notice the blurring in between those. I'm kind of wanting to test this with Space Warp turned off, all the reprojection turned off, because I think that's what it is. I don't think it's the data transfer, and that's how like minute of an issue this really is. It just feels like a reprojection, not like an actual data issue. You know what I mean? I feel like I could have just as good of an experience here in VR sim racing as I can with most of the other VR headsets on the market. Again, the only exception is like Pimax. You get that super wide FOV, or the HP Reverb. You get that really, really sharp clarityness. That's kind of like the clearest headset right now on the market, except for like the new Pimax offerings they're coming out with, or the Valve Index is just feels super robust. It looks decently clear, but I don't have any of the God rays that I was experiencing that were extremely distracting and noticeable. I don't have any of those in this headset that I was having with the Valve Index or my first gen HTC Vive. Those Fresnel lenses are so distracting in comparison to this. I mean, the lenses are awesome, perfectly clear, No God rays, nothing completely, you know, distracting me from my experience at all besides me just looking at random stuff. So overall, this is amazing that it works as well as it does. I believe I could have a completely competent race in this. Fun race, full VR experience. I feel like I'm having one right now. Full VR experience. And it doesn't really feel like I'm compromising. It really doesn't. I really do believe that the issues that we were having are more so related to reprojection rather than the Oculus Link connection. Again, this is not a link cable. This I got from Amazon, same day shipping. I think it's a 15-foot cable, might be a 10-foot cable. I'll post it in the description later after we post this video. But overall, this is amazing. It works really well, and I'm kind of questioning why I would have multiple VR headsets when this is like the do-it-all. I am so surprised. Good job, guys, at Oculus. Oh, man. So let me get this headset off here. Wow. So, hey, Ben, what's going on? Great Tantrum, how's it going? This game looks sharper than ACC. Yeah. iRacing always has done a really good job. Now, we did kind of mess with the resolution a little bit, so that way you could all see what we were looking at. This is just a quick kind of put together live stream on our first test of the Oculus Quest on the PC. So yeah, this is not like a full on, you know, what we do with our other VR headsets. Yeah, this is just the VR view. This is not what I experienced in the headset at all. If you guys want me to do a full review on this experience, I will. But I mean, to be honest with you, with what I experienced in the headset, I don't know, man. It's like, it feels like any other headset. It really does. Felt fine. I didn't feel any lag. I felt like I could push the car and do whatever I needed to with the car, just like I can with any other headset. Felt normal. It really did. And that really lends itself to the technology at hand here. So, yeah, you know, if any of you have a Quest and you want to try it, I highly recommend just picking up the cable and giving it a shot. Especially if you never tried room scale PC VR. This freaking cable actually works, and the whole experience worked. The only thing, again, I'm going to say it because there was a lot of complaints I noticed on the comments, and I had a feeling this was the case. The limitations could be your case. So some people have a motherboard without any USB-C connectors on the motherboard, and then they buy a USB-C cable because their case has a USB-C on the front, but the connection to it's a USB 2. So that's not going to work. You need a USB 3 compatible plug. So whether you get this one that's a USB-C to USB-C, or you get an adapter that converts the USB-C to USB-A, or you just buy a USB-C to USB-A 3.0 cable, however you do it, make sure there's a USB 3.0 connection to your Quest. And it just works, which is awesome. It was neat to see that even in the headset, I did the compositor of seated position, and it still was tracking my hands near the edge of the chaperone, which was kind of distracting when I was racing because I kept wanting to reach out and see if the chaperone was still picking up my hand. Have I lost my mind? Oh, yeah. But overall, this was actually an eye-opening and great experience. Again, attesting to just how good the Quest is. And the next one that comes out, when they do create a new one, it's going to be amazing. Really, really. This is one of my favorite headsets. Yes, I love my Pimax. My Pimax is probably not going anywhere until we get another Pimax. and I am really wanting to. I'm talking to them. They're not really responding, but I want to get my hands on a review unit. Not anything for free, just if I could see one and then give it back to them of their new, was it the AK Plus? But we'll see. We'll see if we could actually get our hands on one of those. It would be neat to see if it really does merge the benefits of the HP reverb or supposedly better visuals than the reverb. I'm not really certain yet. We haven't tried it. Mixed with that increased FOV could be an absolutely amazing experience. And supposedly the headset's built a little better. That would be definitely a much welcomed thing there. But no, I think you can if you want to. But I just plugged it directly into my motherboard. My motherboard has a USB-C plug on the back of it. All it says is USB 3.0 port. It says plug your Oculus Quest into a USB 3.0 port. That's the requirement. It needs to be USB 3.0. I could, and it would probably work just fine. The back of my 2080 Ti has USB-C. I'm sure it would work just fine. But yeah, I mean, it's just using processing power, so I figured, it's USB-C no matter which way you go. But I'm pressing buttons all over, dropping everything. All right, everyone, I do got to get going though. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, sorry we didn't live stream yesterday. Wednesdays are our normal live stream day, and I ended up having to go to work pretty early, much earlier than normal, and put out an 11, almost 12-hour day. So I had no time to actually get on and live stream because we were already at work when we would normally live stream. But everyone, thank you so much for joining in today, hanging out. Hopefully this opened to your eyes. If you don't have a VR headset and you always want to try it, and the Quest has been kind of interesting you, and you're like, you know what, but I do want to sim race with it as well. What should I get? So far, this little booger has been surprising the heck out of me. I love this for a room scale because you're free, and the battery to me works long enough for most of my VR experiences. And then you could always just hook a battery pack to it and stick it in your pocket if you really need more battery. But freaking works. I am so surprised. All right, everyone, have a great day. See you all next time. And if you do want to see a review of this, much like we do all of our other reviews, where I take my DSLR, we do the through the lens shots, and we give it the full VR rundown as a, sim racer and dedicated to sim racing titles, let me know. I don't know if you guys would even really be interested in seeing that. If you are, then I'll make the video. Let me know in the comment box below when this video comes out, when it reposts, so that way I could go through the list. And maybe I'll make a poll on the channel as well, so definitely take a look for that one as well. All right, everyone. See you all next time. Have a great day.